3 days before my wedding, a short video shattered everything I thought I knew about my fiancée Claire. It wasn't meant for me. It was a 30-second clip shared in a private group with her closest friends. The faces were mostly blurred, but the sounds were unmistakable. Loud laughter, clinking glasses, and a drunken voice bragging about 3 strangers. One of her friends even called her a legend. I must have replayed it a dozen times, each viewing making the knot in my stomach heavier. The engagement ring in its satin-lined box suddenly felt like a weight pulling me under. We had been together for 6 years. Through her mother's illness, my bouts of unemployment, and countless quiet nights where we swore we'd stand by each other no matter what. One weekend in Las Vegas had destroyed it all. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't even confront her. Instead, I saved the video, stripped out the audio, and took screenshots of every damning message from her friends. This wasn't going to be just a broken engagement. It was going to be a reckoning she'd never forget. When she returned from Vegas, she was glowing, sun-kissed skin, sparkling eyes overflowing with excitement. It was wild, she laughed, kicking off her heels. But I'm ready to be your wife. I kissed her forehead, my face calm, my voice warm, masking the icy resolve inside me. She had no idea that in that moment, I was already gone. That night, while she slept, I stayed awake. At 4:15 a.m., I was ready. Passport, laptop, burner phone packed. I left the ring on the counter with a short note. Don't contact me. You'll understand why soon. By sunrise, I was on a plane to Portland, not to hide, but to prepare. When our rehearsal dinner came, Claire walked in expecting joy. Instead, she found empty chairs, unanswered calls, and my family completely unreachable. By midday, whispers filled the room. Her mother asked quietly if something had happened in Vegas. Her father demanded answers. Some of her bridesmaids, those who knew, kept silent, their loyalty already splintering. The wedding day arrived, but there was no ceremony, no groom, no explanation. She stood in her dress surrounded by murmurs as her perfect day crumbled. I had erased myself, deleted social media, closed our joint accounts, ended the apartment lease, and redirected vendor payments. I was gone without a trace. But that was just the beginning. A few days later, I sent an email to a select group, her parents, her boss, and her younger brother. Attached was a 1-minute cut of the Vegas video, along with screenshots and snippets of her own laughter. By the next morning, her Instagram and LinkedIn were gone. Her company opened an investigation. Partying with strangers on a work-funded trip was not the image they wanted. Friends began to turn on her. 2 bridesmaids issued public apologies to our guests. One of them, Jessica, messaged me privately to say she'd been told we had an open relationship. She claimed she didn't know the truth. I didn't answer. Their regret wasn't for her. It was for themselves. Within weeks, she had lost her job, her friends, and most of her family. Even her father sent me an email thanking me for telling the truth. One of the men from that night shared his own video, and soon it spread to her extended relatives. Her aunt called her, ashamed of the scandal. A month later, I updated our wedding website. Where RSVPs had once been, there was now a calm, measured letter. I had loved Claire, supported her, and imagined a future together, but I couldn't marry someone who saw me as a stepping stone. Someone who bragged about using me before moving on. I included a single quote from her own messages. He's dependable. I'll marry him, take what I can, then find something better. The proof was brief but devastating. The reaction was swift. Her family cut ties. Her brother stopped speaking to her. Her ex-employer confirmed her firing publicly. Even Jessica posted online. Actions have consequences. I choose integrity. Claire wasn't destroyed by me. She was destroyed by her own choices. I had only held up the mirror. Her final message came late one Tuesday night. You got what you wanted. I'm ruined. My job, my friends, my family. Are you happy? I never replied. This wasn't about satisfaction. It was about truth. 6 months later, I was in Lisbon, breathing in the Atlantic air. Claire had moved in with a distant cousin, taken a cashier job, and tried to start a lifestyle blog that never took off. Her name was still stained. She sent me one last message. I ruined the only person who truly loved me. I carry that every day. I didn't respond. Not from anger, but because I had let it go. By then, I had rebuilt my life. I reconnected with old friends, launched a freelance marketing business, traveled across Europe, and taught coding to kids who had never touched a computer. Over wine in Madrid, a friend told me I seemed stronger, freer. I smiled. The cost had been high, but the reward was worth it. Peace, self-respect, and a life unshackled from someone else's betrayal. This wasn't just about revenge. It was about reclaiming your worth when someone treats you as disposable. You don't have to shout or beg. You step back, let their own actions expose them, and walk away. The truth doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be undeniable. And once it's out, it lingers.